Folks, this is the Coffee Bush Kid in Central Vic. This morning I'm going to do a small tutorial in favour of the 6-inch coil, which I've been using rather heavily of late. We'll see how this goes. I've started up, now this is for the Equinox 800. I'm running the standard 11-inch coil. I have the standard settings as far as my discrimination and that goes through. So I've started it up. I've done all the normal starting things. I've ground balanced. Actually, where it starts to, rightio. There's our accept reject section, which is this second one from the end here. Normally it would come up as a -9 if you've just turned the machine off and then turned it back on again. That's pretty much your standard settings. I am actually, sorry, wrong way. I am in speed recovery of 5 because it's a bit of a trashy site, and I have got my iron bias on 2, and the reason for this will become clear in a little bit of time. So if we just go back to there is where I want to go. Now there's the 11-inch coil. Actually, you can see where I'm at. Right, we got shitloads of signals, but actually if you look down in amongst there, there's a 3p, a 6p and a halfpenny. Yeah. Actually, sorry, do that. Yeah, you might, but yeah, they all sound similar, don't they? So the first thing I did was with your accept reject for your targets and so forth, just start rejecting them. And I'm going up, and I go up to 15 if I'm in a gold site, an old gold site where there's lots of trash. But in places like this where you go, I know that a half sovereign gives off a 15. If I'm in a real trashy site like this, I usually up it to 17. But we'll listen to the difference already. Hear how it's a lot quieter? So you nearly picked that one. If I did that, it'd be better. Still a bit harder, but a hell of a lot quieter. So that was to 15. Now if we go up to 17, it's made a hell of a difference, hasn't it? Even better if I did that. And then we heard all the signals before. So that 15 to 17 makes a hell of a difference. What I'm now going to do is I will change over to my 6-inch coil, remembering Yeah, how quiet it was. So that's 17. If we go back down to 15, there's still a lot more signals there, and you'll get that with the bigger coil. So we'll stop there, and we will change over to the 6-inch coil, and we'll see a bit more of a difference. All right, we're back again. I've got my 6-inch coil on now. Now, what I will show you is that when you start it up again and you go through your settings, when you get to your accept reject, it's back to -9 again when you've switched off and started again. So if you want to change it, you've got to end up going right the way back up to where you were. So there's where I was in 15. Hear how a lot quieter that all is? Now that's in my 15 setting. If I go back and I go accept reject up to 16 and keep it at 17, I just find it a lot quieter. And you heard what it was like with the 11-inch coil on. I didn't even get in between all those and not set them off. But when you go over them, it goes off. So what I end up doing, as I said before, if I'm in a real trashy site like this, I usually play up in 17. If I was to be in a gold area where I thought half sovereigns were a go, I would drop down to 15, which is still okay for here, but you do pick up a lot more other signals. But you'd still, if I did that better, yeah, you'd still dig those. Now, this isn't a be-all and end-all of what to do. It's only a suggestive start-off point. I've gone through a lot of the stuff that people who have come before me have done. Like most of our settings are set up on Sid Perry stuff from England's history. I got a bit of information about coil sizes from the Gig Master. As I look for my notes, Marky Mark with Sid, they were interesting. This is a sub point actually while I'm going through, in that when you're in a high electromagnetic interference area, drop out of multi-frequency that you can see there. Peter Uar and I have found that 20 hertz, 40 hertz, really good, and we still keep finding coins in amongst all that, so that's great. The person that put me on to using my discrimination was the Square Nail Squirrel. Check him out. He actually he went down to a 6-inch coil on one site because he knew it was trashy. And I'm watching him going, why would you do that? It's a big area. You've just dropped down to a 6-inch coil. When you actually do it, you understand, because you just seem to poke it in all little nooks and crevices and you keep pulling out the coins. Like, I refer to this 6-inch coil as the threepence magnet, because I can just keep pulling them out and out and out, and it just amazes us. Over stuff that we've gone over before, you just keep pulling coins out. It's absolutely magnificent. And another person to give a call out to is Kevin, MDing E-Tex with Kevin. He gave me the great little piece of advice. When you're in a high trashy area, just like a cyclone fence that you might be going beside, what you can do is come at it side on and drop your sensitivity right down till it stops going off. So I remember he dropped his down to 5, and then he just walks straight along the edge of the area, if that makes sense. And when you get a faint signal, then you can come at it at 90 degrees and the fence doesn't interfere with you, and you can pick up the coin. Watched him do that, and he got a couple of coins and a ring. So you got to be happy with that. And yeah, so this, as I said, this is a start-off point. You never know what you'll find. I had a mate there, John Groney from the Groney Boys. He likes these kangaroo pennies. So you always go and check him out too. But yeah, I hope that this has made sense. So what it is, as I said, I've started off, I have accept, reject in 15. If I reckon there's a half sovereign, I go up to 17 in a trashy site like this. I have my recovery speed at 5. I find it's good for me. And my iron bias is at 2, because if you have that too high, it blocks all your coin signals out that might be close to tin. So sort of the lower you go, you might pick up a little bit more, but you'll find the coins in amongst the tin. So have a go at it, have it as a start-off point, and see how you go, and good luck. Just as another sub note, and we don't need the detector for this, so I'll just keep panning around and you can see the views. You've got to be careful and discerning where you use a 6-inch coil. Like you wouldn't try to do a whole paddock with a 6-inch coil. I wouldn't do the beach per se with a 6-inch coil. But if I knew that I wanted to play around in the rocks, yes, I would put the 6-inch coil on. It's a hell of a lot lighter to swing. Down at the beach poking around, would I set the discrimination to 15 or 17? No, I think I'd take it back down to the factory preset of 2, because gold rings can come in at 5. You just don't want to miss stuff like that. So you really have to, the coins aren't going to jump out of the ground putting these settings in. You've got to know what you're listening for. You've got to use a little bit of common sense and go, yeah, look, I reckon this will happen, or no, this isn't the spot for doing that. You could do a big area first with your 11-inch coil, or your 15 if you've got one, and then if you start hitting trashy area and you think, oh geez, I still reckon I'm in with a chance, then drop down. Now another thing is, when you're using the 6-inch coil and you go, oh gee, there's a hell of a big area there that I've got to cover, what you do is you just set markers. There, I'm only going to there, to there, to here, to here, and that's all the area that you concentrate on. Don't worry about everything that's all over everywhere else. Just concentrate. Put stones there, put sticks in the ground, and just grid that area. And then that's all you're concentrating on. Your focus is fully on those small points, and you'll start to pick up the stuff that's there. But you've got to be in the right mindset for it, and you've got to pick when to discriminate, when not to, what size coil you want to use, where. Anyway, that was another thought for you. So keep in mind, always good to fill in some of your day detecting, and remember to fill in all your holes when you're finished. We'll catch you next time. Good luck.